how far can $20 stretch in a thrift store these days? We're about to find out. Hey everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing a thrift challenge. In my circles, I've seen a lot of talk about thrifting just being a little too expensive today. So I wanted to test out that theory. I am going shopping with literally only $20. I am going to the most expensive thrift stores in my area. We'll see how much $20 can actually stretch in a thrift store. So if you want to skip right to the haul, I'll put the timestamp right here. But without further ado, let's head in there. So this is a challenge, and because of that I had to make a few ground rules. So the first ground rule is I cannot go a penny over $20. If it's more than $20, I have to put something back. My second rule is that I cannot shop any color tags or sale discounts. My third rule is that if I find something that I can't put in my haul that I absolutely love, I have to wait a full 48 hours before I can return to the thrift store. I really wanted to make this a legitimate process, and I feel like 48 hours is enough time for people to go in there and possibly take those items that I absolutely love. And the final rule for myself, it shouldn't be a rule, but I'm putting it out there anyways, but I can only buy things that I actually love. I can't go in there and buy things that are cheap just because they're cheap to add to the haul. I have to make sure that they are things that I actually love and things I would normally buy anyways. So the first thing I came across was this wood carved piece. I absolutely loved it and thought $2.99 wasn't a bad price, but I knew right away that I couldn't get both. So I put it in my cart, maybe thinking that I'd pick it up later. This one, however, I really loved. I asked you guys on Instagram if you liked it. Some thought it was a vibe, some didn't, but I ultimately decided not to get it because it was $14.99. I was really hoping it was just too funky of a piece for people to be interested in it. However, when I went back, it was unfortunately gone. I thought this mug set was really cute too. Unfortunately, the whole set itself was way above my price range. Surprisingly enough, this trinket dish that I kind of viewed a few weeks back was still there. I really loved these cups though. They were so cute, but $14.99 for the set. It's like they knew I was doing this today. I really thought that I would actually find more than a few things. However, everything seemed to be high priced, so it's like they knew I was doing this challenge for myself. And like these blue lamps were $19.99 for the set, which was very surprising. This lamp was also more than half of my budget, but I thought it was so cute, and unfortunately I left it behind. And these little ceramic pieces stole my heart. The large one was $7.99, which I could not believe, and the smaller ones were $4.99 each. So altogether, obviously I couldn't buy them all, so that really broke my heart. And I'm also pretty sure that today was red tag sale, so I stayed away from anything that had red tags. Loved this painting though. It was so colorful and vibrant. I actually found a lot of paintings that I probably would have picked up if I didn't have this strict $20 limit. However, I did find these beautiful frames. Now, the one that I'm holding right now was only $7.99. The one below it was $24.99. So of course I couldn't get that one. The one on top, I really loved the detailing on. So I decided to put that in my cart until I made a final decision. So I knew pretty early on that I was going to get this frame. I was going to do whatever I needed to do in order to pay for that frame. The next thing I picked up was this, trying to see if I wanted to put this into my haul, my $20 haul. I also found this. I love the shape. It was poorly spray painted, but I thought maybe I could turn it around. And right now I'm just trying to do the math to see how many of the pieces I could actually bring home with me without going over the $20 limit. Overall though, I would say I tried every single combination and I still wasn't happy with the result. Well played, Goodwill. Well played. So my math was wrong and I ended up having to put something back that I would have bought otherwise, but I left with a lot less than I thought I would. But the next place we're going to is the Little Boutique. Now, their prices are pretty high, but the last few times I've gone there, they have been doing some type of sale. So if they're doing a sale, we're just gonna end up going to a different thrift store. I have a few backups just in case. So let's head on over there and see how far $20 can go. So I've mentioned this beforehand, but Bethel Thrift Store definitely knows how to price items. I call it the Little Boutique because of the fact that it has cute items, but they definitely know what things are worth. So as such, things are a lot higher priced here than you would normally find, or at least I feel like you would normally find in a thrift store, but they still have some great items, so I did want to challenge myself to find stuff here under $20. So the common theme for this store was that I was finding things under my price range that I needed that were just meh, but then I found other stuff that I really liked that were just way over the $20 limit. And honestly, for a moment there, I thought I was going to walk away with nothing until I found this bowl. I absolutely loved it and thought I could make something of that. That piece, however, was more than half of my budget, so I knew that if I was going to find anything else for this haul, I needed to have something that was relatively cheap. And that was very hard to find. So I thought maybe I could find some picture frames, maybe I can find a piece of art. So I did look around in their art and I found this, but this was $15. I mean, it's beautiful and it was probably hand painted, but I was so upset that it was $15. I did, however, find this piece too, and I thought it was really cute, and this was one that was reasonably priced. So I just got out of the second thrift store. I really thought for a second that I wasn't going to get anything. It was to the point where I was like, can I even buy anything for $20? But I did find some things, thankfully. Some things that I love. So in total, at this thrift store, I spent $18.36. So let's go to the final thrift store today to see how far $20 can go there. So this last thrift store is one I've never been to. I just chose it because when I went on to Google to see the reviews for it, there were a lot there saying that it was high priced. So because of that, it made a perfect candidate for this challenge. Overall though, I would say that this had some decent prices and then it had some higher prices. Like the dinner sets, they were a little higher than I probably would want to see at a thrift store. However, I am not knowledgeable when it comes to dining sets. Mainly because I have mismatched sets and I haven't bought a set. I've always been gifted sets, so I don't even know what the going price is for this sort of thing. I did find this beaded container to be really cute though, and I kept my eye on it until the very end. I also really loved this rocking chair. It was so cute and gorgeous, but of course when I looked at the tag, it was $20. So something that I couldn't buy, unfortunately. So at this point, I didn't find anything else that caught my eye. So right now what I'm doing are taking the items that I found that of course I can't buy all at the same time and decide what I want to keep in my haul and what I have to put back on the shelf. I decided though, I thought this was really cute. I don't see this very often and I love decorative pieces, so I ended up getting that and decided instead to put the lidded jar back on the shelf. I figured I could find something similar to that in a different thrift store at another time. That's all rain if you hear that. So this last thrift store was a little bit of a mixed bag. There were some things, wow, I just cannot contend with the rain right now. So rain is definitely telling me it's thrift haul time now. Okay, so first up is this frame. I realize it's not gonna fit in the frame. See what I did there? It looks old. I don't know how old it is. It's probably more of a vintage piece, but I just love that. The detailing on this is just incredible. So it is chipped in two places though. One of the areas is actually right here, if you could see that. So, I mean, that's unfortunate, but I still really loved it. I'll probably try to find some paint to try to color in the wood underneath this just to make sure that it matches. Okay. So $7.99 for this. Just my gut reaction is that $7.99 was a little too high for this. Frames are awesome and great when you could get it, but yeah, $7.99, a little high, but I still had to get it. And the last thing that I got at Goodwill was this. I loved these so much, even though that they were so pricey. Like $7.99 for this, I think it's just a little high. It's beautiful, don't get me wrong. I do really think it's beautiful, but I just didn't understand. Like $7.99 for this one was a little bit more reasonable, but the small ones for $4.99, come on, come on. So my reasoning, I was like, okay, the frame is definitely gonna go. I knew for a fact that the black frame that I liked was also going to be gone by the time I got there because it's such a big size. And I know if I leave this one there, it will be gone. So my thought process here was like, okay, I'll get these two items. Maybe the small ones will still be there because they're so higher in price and, you know, they're tiny. No one's gonna take that by the time I get back. They took them, which honestly, I can't blame them, but I mean, it was literally as I was making this decision, it was like, wow, I literally picked the worst day to do this challenge. So for this one in particular, I had to get it even though it was $7.99. It looks like it's almost been like carved into, but the carved lines are so thin and detailed. I have to admit, it has an amazing texture to it. I love the texture of it. And I love the color too. It's like almost like a charcoal color. So Although I only got 2 items from Goodwill, I will say I am happy with the 2 items that I got at Goodwill. Okay, so next up was the Bethel Thrift Store, aka the Little Boutique. One of the first things that I found was this guy. When I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, this is a really cute styling piece. This was $12, and granted, it's ceramic. It's probably like a handmade piece, but was not expecting $12 for this. I really love this. I love the handles on it too. I thought it was really cute. The color I actually like too, because it actually goes well with my downstairs living room. So this is just gonna be a great piece to have to style with. I like it a lot. And if this was the only thing I walked away with, I would have been happy with that. I also showed you this too. I just love this. It's almost like got a metallic sheen to it, if you're seeing that correctly. I know this is an older type of style. How old, I don't know, but I've seen a picture like this. These are like older style pieces. Now it says a Franklin picture and it's got 6577, and it looks like it says Chicago maybe. If anyone knows any information on these kind of style prints, I don't know if it's a foil print. I'm thinking it might be a foil print. I'm not sure. I really was happy to pick this one up. I just love the scenic view of it. I could stare at that for hours. It's so cute. I mean, this was only $2. This was a good grab for $2. Okay, and the last thing that I got at the Bethel Thrift Store was just a simple basket. It wasn't anything spectacular. This one was $3, which in all honesty, I think that's a little high for this kind of basket too. Let's be real. You know me and baskets. Am I ever going to curb my issue with baskets? Hopefully one day. So yeah, this is nothing special, but I mean, I'm a lover of baskets. So I know I mentioned it before, but this one was a little bit more of a mixed bag. It had some decent prices and then some like really, I don't want to say out there, but they were too out there for me to be like comfortable paying it. But the first thing that I got was this book. It's a book from the 1950s, so not incredibly old. I just thought it was really cute, a really cool book to like have on your coffee table or just out displayed. I like the little spine of the book too. I thought that was really cute with like almost like gold wording and detailing, so I thought that was cool. Surprisingly, their books were only 25 cents, so that's a good deal. So 25 cents is probably the cheapest I have ever seen books being sold anywhere. Like, I'm very shocked. The next thing I got were these. I know these are not brass. They're probably just like coated to almost look like brass, but these were cute nonetheless. I just really thought that they were simple and understated and really tiny. And they were so tiny, in fact, that I was like, can a candlestick even fit in there? But even if a candlestick doesn't happen to fit in this, which is, let's be honest, it's probably likely. But even if it doesn't fit in there, I've seen a lot of people just have candlesticks just, you know, just hanging out like this on like a stand or a bookshelf or something like that. So I definitely wouldn't feel bad if I just did that. If they just hang out by themselves without any candlesticks, that's cool too. So this tall one was $1. This short one was only 50 cents. So honestly, $1.50 for these two, even though I know they're not brass. I think that's really good. So I was happy to pick these up. This is probably very boring, so I'll just quickly gloss over these. But I got little knobs for like dressers. So I have a desperate need to upcycle a lot of different furniture items that I've just found over the time of like thrifting and, you know, just driving places. So I need new knobs for some of the dressers. So I don't remember how cheap they were, but this was included in the haul and I could purchase these. Next thing I got was a wooden bowl. I love my wooden bowls. I have probably way too much wooden bowls, but this one was a very cute shape. Like if you look like this, it almost looks like a wheel of cheese. Am I just hungry right now? So I feel like this one is perfect for an upcycle. I want to do a certain finish on this, and I feel like this would be the perfect candidate for it. So I'm really excited about this one. This one was $5, which I think for a wood bowl is a decent price, but I knew as soon as I saw this, I was going to do something with it and I was going to upcycle it. So I knew I had to get it for that reason. So that's why this one was a part of the haul. Okay, and the last thing that I got was this thing. So I love my vases, I love my candlesticks, but I also really love object decor. I really love things that look different, that you can style up. This was one of those things that I was just like, I think it's so cute. Like the flower on top, I love flowers. and I just thought it was just a really cute shape. And it's got the cracked look, it's got the patina that I love. I'm ultimately glad that I bought this, and I'm glad that I made the decision for this one as opposed to the other one. And so I did spend $20 or less in all of these thrift stores, but I will say it was hard. This challenge was basically an impromptu experiment to see if, you know, $20 can go far these days in thrift stores. Just in the few years that I've been thrifting, and more frequently now that I've been thrifting, I'm realizing that I've become a little bit more accustomed to like seeing like outrageous prices. Like, I mean, it still shocks me. So can you only spend $20 in a thrift store? Yes. Caveat to that though is that you might not get as much as you used to. You probably couldn't furnish a whole room for only $20 at the thrift store. Now maybe if you did 100, did I just come up with another challenge? I mean, honestly, I love to save money when I can. With that being said though, saving money is not the one and only reason why I thrift. There are other reasons why I thrift. So saving things from going into the garbage that could be repurposed, have a new life, that's one of the main reasons. Also, one of the other reasons is just the thrill of the thrift. Like, I love to find things that you might not find anywhere else. I love to actually actively look for something that I've seen before, but I just can't find it in my stores. And you just don't know what you're gonna find when you go into the thrift store. I like that. But I honestly want to keep this conversation going with you. What your thrift stores look like. Have they gone up in prices? Have you noticed some changes? How do you feel about thrift stores these days? Can you still find some great things for very affordable prices? And if you have found something really great, was it your best score ever? Was it something that you knew was worth much more than it was actually priced for? Because I love those stories. I really do. Yeah. Please share your stories with me. But I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Ah, I'm in the frame. I'm in the frame! As I hit my head. Please tell me it looks like a wheel cheese.